Hi everyone. Hello friends, flawless notaries. Hello everyone. I hope you're doing good and you're ready to learn great stuff today. Hi everyone. Let me just put my face here so you guys can see me here. Yay. Let me put my face a little bit bigger. Yay. There you go. Hi. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Stephanie Espinal and I'm the proud owner of Espinal Notary Signing Services. So today we are going to learn about HIPAA, RESPA, and TILA. All right, so let me remove my face here for a little bit so I can focus on the information I'm going to give you guys. Let me go here and let me go over here. All right. Okay, so whether you're just starting out as a notary or you've been doing this for a while, understanding these laws are absolutely essential. It helps you protect your clients, your businesses, and your professional reputation, which is everything in this line of work that we do as notaries. Now, why did I created this training? I created this training because it's so crucial for notaries to understand HIPAA, RESPA, and TILA because these laws protect sensitive personal information and they ensure transparency and fairness in real estate and lending transactions. Compliance helps notaries maintain the trust, avoid legal risk, and perform their duties ethically and professionally. And I notice as a owner of a signing service, I notice a lot of notaries do not know the laws and they don't know regulations and they don't know what's legal and what's not legal. So let's just start with the basic information today with the small video. So let's move on. Over the next 45 minutes, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be breaking down what each law means for you as a notary, what your responsibilities are, and some common mistakes you'll want to avoid. I'll also going to be sharing some examples to help you see how this applies in your day-to-day signings. So this training is not just about ticking a box or meeting a requirement. It's about empowering you to the best, to be the most professional notary and the most trusted notary you can be. So let's dive in and get started. Who is this course for? Well, this course is for a notary public or signing agent or professional working in the mortgage, legal, or healthcare document space who understands the importance of maintaining compliance in every transaction. You take your role seriously and you want to protect your clients, your business, and your reputation by following the law and industry standards. You also have a desire to elevate your professionalism and ensure you're always acting with integrity and accuracy. You also believe that compliance is not just a legal requirement, but also a commitment to trust and ethical service. And you want to avoid costly mistakes. If you are one of those or you identify with one of those, then stick with me, okay? Now, if you are someone who is unwilling to follow established laws and procedures, or who believes cutting corners is acceptable, or you don't have the willingness to invest time into understanding and applying the rules that dominate your work, if you are not prepared to learn, take notes, and actively apply these compliance principles to your daily notary duties, let me tell you that this course will not provide you with the results you're looking for. So you may want to ignore me. All right. So I want to tell you that if you hear some weird noises in the background, it's because my doggies are in around me doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. And they know that I'm doing something important, and that's when they want to start doing things that they're not supposed to. So they're not following rules. All right. So, module 1, what is HIPAA? So let's start with the basics. Okay. HIPAA is a federal law designed to protect sensitive patient health information. Think of it as the privacy guard for medical records. It applies to healthcare providers, insurance companies, and sometimes third parties like notaries, like us, if they handle medical related documents, which we do. And we all know we do. If we do general notary work, you know that we deal with power of attorneys and medical related documents and all that stuff that's involved in that, especially those notaries that do estate planning. We do find medical related documents in those packages. What are your responsibilities as a notary? As notaries, we're not usually creating medical records, but we might handle documents like medical authorizations, advance directives, or power of attorneys for healthcare, like I mentioned before. When that happens, HIPAA still applies and you have to follow it. So protect confidentiality. That's one of your duties, your responsibilities. Don't share details you see in documents. Keep documents secure before and after notarization and verify only what's needed, their identity, that they are willing to sign, and that they understand what they're signing, okay? Not the medical content of the documents. That is not for you. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's review some of the do's and don'ts of HIPAA. So, please store documents in a safe location until return. Limit the conversation. Avoid discussing details with anyone not authorized. Use discretion when meeting in public spaces, like when we meet at Starbucks or McDonald's or any restaurant. Please use discretion and look who's around you, who's behind you, who's in front of you. Do not leave documents unattended in your car. In between closings, please have something to secure the documents. Okay, that for the closing that you did before, and now you're going to the following closing. What are you doing with the package that you just notarized, that you just finished? You can just leave it in the car unattended. You have to secure that package. Do not post about signings on social media with personal details. I've seen a lot of notaries that post pictures of when they are at the signing table, or they are meeting or they're in the process of doing notarizations, and they take a little picture with the packages, in front of them. Not knowing that when you post that picture on social media, anybody that's looking at that photo can zoom in on that photo and might be able to see important information on those documents. So please be mindful when you are posting pictures on social medias about your signings. And do not disclose patient information to unauthorized parties, like talking about with your friends after the closing, or your coworkers, or your husband, or your wife. Don't do that. That is not authorized. All right. So, what are the consequences for notaries for doing a HIPAA violation? There could be civil penalties up to $50,000 per violation. There could be criminal penalties, which includes fines and potential jail time, and loss of credibility and future work opportunities, which you don't want that. None of us want that, okay? Now, let's look at some of the examples of a HIPAA violation. So let's say that a notary leaves a signed medical power of attorney document open on their desk if they are working in an office where others can see medical details, or you discuss a signer's medical condition in public and somebody overheard the conversation. What is the result of your action? The document is stolen and the patient's PHI is exposed. And now the notary will be reported to the state and fined. And not only you as the notary will be reported, but the signing service that contracted you can be reported as well for not giving you the proper training about HIPAA. Now, what is the correct action? Always keep medical documents in a locked briefcase, delivered directly to the recipient, and never store them unnecessarily, meaning that when you scan documents and you have to save them in your computer, in your downloads, make sure you don't keep them there forever. Once that closing is approved and you get paid for it, delete it from your hard drive. You don't want none of that information just sitting there in your hard drive. Okay, please make note of that. All right, so let's move on to module 2, which is what is RESPA? Well, RESPA, it is the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, or RESPA. It's a federal law enacted in 1974 to protect consumers during the home buying process. It requires transparency in real estate transactions, prohibits kickbacks, and ensures that borrowers receive important disclosures about the cost of their mortgage settlement. Meaning, when I go to a signing table, the first question I ask them is, hey, so did you guys receive a copy of the closing disclosures that was sent to you at least 3 days before the closing date? Did you review it? Did you make sure those numbers are correct? Because I'm bringing you the final one and I want you to compare the numbers and make sure that they are the same, or if there's any changes that you're not aware of or you were not informed of, then we might have to call the lender. So those are the things that you we have to, those are the things that I say when I go to the signing table. So RESPA applies to most residential real estate transactions involving federal related mortgage loans. They are overseen by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is the CFPB. All right. Now, what are some of the responsibilities under RESPA as a notary? As a notary involved in loan signings, you may handle documents required under RESPA. Your responsibility is not to explain or interpret the law, but to ensure proper execution and notarization of disclosures. You ensure that no fraud occurs in these documents. You have to ensure that all RESPA required disclosures that require notarization are signed correctly. You maintain impartiality. Do not advise borrowers on the terms on these documents. You're going to handle all personal and financial information securely. You are dealing with their life, with their financial life, their information. You have to be careful with that information. All right. Now, what are some of the do's and don'ts under RESPA? So what you do is you verify signer identity before notarizing any RESPA related documents. You ensure that the borrower has received the required disclosures, the closing disclosure, the escrow account statements, and all that good stuff. You follow your state notary laws for all notarizations. You as a notary must be a specialist on your state notary laws. You must know your notary laws. All right. So, what are some of the don'ts? Do not explain legal terms or give advice about RESPA forms. Do not overlook missing signatures or incomplete dates. Do not engage in or accept any referral fees or kickbacks. This is prohibited by RESPA. Okay, it is prohibited. So, what happens, or what are the consequences of violating the RESPA? So, if you are violating RESPA, that can lead to serious penalties, including fines up to $10,000 and even imprisonment for certain offenses. Notaries can also face civil lawsuits, loss of your commission, and damage to your professional reputation, which is something you don't want. Okay. Now, let's give you some examples of a RESPA violation. So a title company offers you $50 for every client you send their way, and you accept. What is the result of this action? This is an illegal referral fee under RESPA. Both you and the title company could face criminal charges. So what is the correct action? never, never accept payment for recommending any settlement service. Please keep that in mind. Now let's go to module 3, which is what is TILA. So what is TILA? That is Truth in Lending Act. The Truth in Lending Act, or TILA, was passed in 1968 to protect, I lost it right here, to protect consumers by requiring lenders to clearly disclose loan terms and costs. This law ensured that borrowers understand the true cost of credit before agreeing to it. So this law is administered by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is the CFPB, and it requires disclosures such as APR, which is the annual percentage rate, total finance charges, payment schedule, and total payment amount. Now, what are some of your responsibilities as a notary under TILA? Well, under TILA, notaries are not responsible for explaining the calculations or terms, but we are responsible for ensuring the correct documents are signed, that they are dated correctly, that they are notarized in accordance with your state laws, okay? With your state laws. So confirm borrower sign all TILA-related disclosures where required. Pay attention to dates, especially to the notice of right to cancel for refinancing packages only. Keep documents secure before, during, and after the signing. What are some do's and don'ts that you have to do under TILA? So some of the do's are check that the notice of right to cancel includes the correct dates. Sometimes they are pre-entered on the form. Make sure that that is the right date. If not, call title, inform them so they can give you instructions. They might ask you just have the signer cross out, write the right date and initial, but you have to ask for authorization. Don't just do it because you know that that's what they're going to tell you to do. You have to follow procedures. Call, let them know, get approval, and then do it. Okay. I have worked with so many notaries that they assume so many things and they do things without even asking me, without calling title. And that is just so unacceptable to me. I don't ever work with notaries that do that to me, just to let you know. So some of the do's is that, right? Ensure that borrowers receive 2 copies of the notice of right to cancel for each owner. Follow the lender and title company instructions carefully, something like I just said. With the notice of right to cancel, what I usually do is I have them sign the copies in their packages that I'm going to leave with them. They're the blank ones. So I have them sign those and I let them know before I leave, that's your notice of right to cancel. You signed it, acknowledging that I gave you this information. But if you decide to cancel within 3 business days, and I explain what they have to do. But I make sure that when I leave, that they have a signed notice of right to cancel. Some of the don'ts. So some of the don'ts, do not change dates or terms on the notice of right to cancel. Do not provide legal or financial advice about APR or finance charges. Do not rush borrowers through critical TILA disclosures. Please don't rush the borrowers when they're looking at the documents. I know that sometimes we have readers, but we have to be patient and just stay there and give them that space. All right. So what are the consequences of TILA? So some of the consequences of TILA, if you violate, this is TILA. Okay. So I lost the violations in here. Okay. So the TILA violations, they can lead to extended rescission periods for borrowers, costly fines for lenders, and serious liability for notaries who fail to perform duties correctly. So there could be fines and penalties for lenders and agents. Rescission period could be extended up to 3 years for major violations, and possible civil liability for notaries if negligence is proven. All right. So let's look at some of the examples of a TILA violation. So the borrower asks you, why is my APR so high? And you respond with your personal guess. You're assuming, oh, I've done packages where the APR was less than this with this bank. Right there, what is the result? What do you think it's going to happen? You have misrepresented the loan terms. This violates TILA and could cause a loan cancellation. Now the signer is going to say, oh, I'm not going to sign. I'm going to go with that bank that you just mentioned. So instead of getting yourself into trouble, please politely say, I can't provide legal or financial advice. Let's stop. Let's take a break. Let's call your lender so they can explain the details. Please do not do this ever. All right. So the final review and agreement on this course. So a summary of what I just went over is you must know as a notary what a HIPAA is, which is it protects personal health information. What a RESPA is, it ensures fairness and bans referral kickbacks. And what a TILA is, it ensures borrowers understand loan terms. As an Espinal Notary Signing Service contractor, compliance is non-negotiable. And all notaries must protect confidentiality, avoid unauthorized advice, follow state and federal law exactly. Failure to comply will result in termination of contract with my agency, Espinal Notary Signing Services, and may result in legal consequences. And you might lose contracts with other clients, direct clients as well. So please be careful. Those of you that completed my training, you will receive an agreement form so you can sign, saying that you have read and understood the training, that you agree to complying with the HIPAA, RESPA, and TILA while working with me, and that you understand that violation of these laws can lead to contract termination and legal consequences. I just want to put out there that no part of this course may be reproduced, distributed, or transmitted in any form or by any means, and that includes photocopying, recording, and other electronic or mechanical methods without prior written permission from the publisher, which is me. The course was made and created to provide for educational purposes only. It does not constitute legal advice. Notary laws, they vary by state. You should know your laws, and it is your responsibility to understand and comply with the laws and regulations in your jurisdiction. If you're still in need of help, if you are a new notary, you haven't done one closing yet, well, I invite you to join my Espinal Notary Mentorship Program. In this program, you'll get one-on-one coaching tailored to your unique goals. You get hands-on help with real signings and challenging documents. So we'll go over a real package page by page, and you get to keep the package with notes. You have access to exclusive resources, checklists, and templates, and you will be part of a supportive community of like-minded notaries. So if you want to work together to build your confidence to start working as a notary, then email me for mentorship details to learn more and sign up. And you can do that at info@flawlessnotaryacademy.com. It's right there. Let's see. So I also invite you to stay connected with us. Please follow us on social media for more learning resources, behind the scenes moments, and community updates. Follow me on Instagram at Espinal Notary Signing Services, Facebook, Espinal Notary Signing Services, and you could visit my website at www.espinalclosings.com. Discover who we are, explore our services, and see how we help notaries succeed nationwide. So let's keep learning, growing, and connecting together. So thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I know compliance might seem a little bit complicated, but with the right knowledge and habits, you are going to handle it like a pro. But be sure to complete the quizzes to test your understanding. and sign the compliance agreement to confirm you're ready to follow these policies. And again, if you want personalized coaching, tips, and ongoing support, I invite you to join my mentorship program. All right. So stay confident, stay compliant, and keep growing your business. It has been a pleasure. Let me put my face a little bit here. It has been a pleasure. All right. Bye.